I wanted to sort of start and ask a question, which is something I asked a lot of guests, but what is it about marketing? Obviously, you run a marketing agency. What is it about marketing that you absolutely love? Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What excites you in the space right now?
So thank you for having me on the podcast. So really what excites me about marketing, I will tell my story more into the podcast, but I sort of slide into marketing from other things. And what really excites me about it is always moving. It's like it's every day. I don't work every day, but it's every day. It's a very moving industry, and there are all these new technologies that we can apply to marketing, and that's what really excites me. Like, how do we bring technology and all what is new into the field to make it better? And also, I love to talk about my clients and the brands I'm working with. I'm very involved. I really select my clients. So when I start working with a company, I believe in them. So I think that's very important when you're a marketer to believe in the company you work for, and that helps getting up in the morning for sure.
For sure, for sure. I know, like, I agree. Like, if you really like the customer or the client and what their business represents, it's really easy to sort of get excited. And so, what sort of brands or businesses do you work with? Like, what does your client roster look like?
So I don't have a lot of clients. I'm more like a boutique agency. It's funny because I work for various industry. I'm not like stuck in an industry for now. My typical client is someone who has a project and it really a target market that is difficult to reach. My main client is for US military. So we are helping people who are PCSing from a home to another. So US military is a really hard target market.
Yeah,
Uh,
so
so
that's
that's
specific.
super specific. So that's very exciting. It's my main client. I love them. It's must wants. And then I have other clients more in the healthcare industry. It was referral, so it just happened. And it's a clinic that is actually local to where I live. So Northern Virginia and Richmond, Virginia. And they opened the clinic. So what was exciting about it is I did everything. I like when people give me like sort of free ride and they were just like, we want to get you, we want to be everywhere. We want patients, we want to be known. Just do your thing. And then I can really apply, improve my tools and, work for all that. So for now I have healthcare, tech industries like cybersecurity, this type of things, just because of the area in US military. And just because of the area too, it's a US government is really important in the DC area. So
That's super interesting. US military. I haven't heard of any marketers working in that space before, and yeah, it's really cool when a client just sort of says, like, I onboarded a client the other day, and I was like, oh, like, what do you want to get out of your marketing, and what are your goals? And they're like, like they kind of hadn't worked with anybody before, and so it was really cool. They were like, we just want you to like do everything, like you can just run with it, and it's a really nice feeling when they trust you and they're like, yep, just this is your area, like like we'll hands off kind of thing. So I think that's really cool. And then do you find that working in, say, like healthcare or US military, like is the marketing sort of structure different to, say, like e-commerce or different things? Like, how do you find working with those clients? Obviously, there's probably
yeah.
like some some sort of like hoops to jump through in terms of like a legal aspect with government specifically.
Well, there are a lot of things involved. Yeah, data is very important, especially all this is like when you have data from people, you should be very, very careful. We're not selling data. It's one of the actually that's why I work for these people because they are not selling the data. Some people get data in this very specific industry and then sell them. So there are some legal issues. We try to be really good for that. So really important. And it's not the same because when you run, I think I have one client who has sort of an e-commerce kind of thing, but it's more for luxury brand, luxury like clothing. And it's true that it's different. It's not what I prefer. I like her as a person, so I really would like to help her for a project. But what I really like was this US military and tech and like healthcare is like we really have to build trust with the people. And that's really what I want to do in my marketing is like, how do I build trust? How people trust the brand and want to work with us because there is sort of a barrier in this kind of words. You cannot just go everywhere and buy a thing and then you walk away with a thing and then you don't think about the brand anymore. The brand is always with you. So how do you build trust and how people keep trusting you and keep working you, in the long term? So that's really what I like when I start working with a client.
That's cool.
Since
Absolutely. No, it makes so much sense. And I think especially in the age of AI, where there's just so much content coming out, that the trust is probably becoming even more important, and especially like authenticity and connecting with people in that way. Do you find you have certain methods of building trust? Like, is it in the way you write the copy or the content? Is it in the way you do the strategy? Like, what does that look like in a practical sense?
yeah, it's a lot. So it's what I'm building, like, and I'm keep building it, and each month I keep improving. Because I use AI a lot.
Hmm.
So for me, AI is really a tool that I really want to use. I want to develop. I'm a tech person. I started as a developer, so really like when I saw AI, I was just like jumping on the subject. My dad is also working the tech, so we text each other a lot about the subject. So it's I love it. So I was like, okay, how do I bring that in my job? But you're right, you don't want to lose the trust. I don't want an AI to create my social media posts, put them, and then do this kind of weird stuff, and then you just this guy has 3 arms, this kind of thing. You
Cannot
cannot listen there. You can't have that. So yeah, so it's very interesting how I started to work with it. So I'm building actually my own SAS software to bring AI, but keep the trust. And I think to keep the trust, you really have to, when you create your strategies, it can be like emailing strategies, social media strategies, everything that is content related, blog, articles. You can use AI for all that, which is amazing and awesome. But you have to remember, okay, I'm addressing people. So what is the subject, what I'm trying to solve? And I think we need to go back to the basics sometimes because AI is not capable to do that.
Hmm.
AI is just giving you whatever instead
Yeah.
of imagining things. And you're
Yes.
just like, what is that about? It's like, so I love asking AI question like, how did you got that? Where it comes from? It's like it comes from nowhere. You just invented it. So it's very important to first know your subject, don't trust the machine, and
Hmm.
and really build a strategy and use AI only to sort of help you write the content and then check it. Like, we talk about human in the loop. I don't know if you heard the word. It's like you have to be in the loop. You have to be in the flow at some points, checking what AI did before you actually send it to social media and to like
Exactly.
thousands of people and say, "There, this is my copy." So that's
Hmm.
sort of how I build trust. I build trust by using all these tools. So it's how how do we bring that because it's cheaper and
Hmm.
my clients don't have like thousands of dollars, so we need to be very careful for the money.
Hmm.
So it's good to use these tools, but we have to be in the loop to make sure that at each step we keep the storytelling. We make sure that AI didn't write something that was incorrect, especially in the health industry. I had to learn about a little bit about what they do. Not say something like, "Oh, we're gonna cure you from this," and this is not real. You have to be very careful of the
You have the
actual
claims.
information.
Mm.
Yeah, the claims. It's like, and even a client who has normal industry, you have a product, you cannot claim, "Hey, we're gonna solve this problem if you don't solve it."
Right.
So I think be very careful with AI because sometimes it's just advanced features that you don't have
Hmm.
or not have yet. It could be
Right.
great if you have it, but it's not available yet. So I think it's very important to be in the loop and to check, okay, AI is talking about this about my product, but do I really can solve all these problems
Right.
as of now? And I'm very careful when I do marketing. A lot of people do marketing. Even my clients, they were like, "Oh, we're gonna soon have that." I was like, so I don't talk about it. I don't want to
Right.
talk about the soon, the maybes. The
Right.
the we're gonna do that next year or next month or next week. I talk only what is there, what is working, what has been tested, and I think that's part of the trust. It's like people trust you if you say we're gonna do that, and then they connect, they create an account, and they do this. They do that thing. It's like it's how you build trust. If you start
Mm.
talking about soon, later, maybes, or let AI invented something, and then people connect, it's not like, oh no, I do that, where it is, then that's when you lose all the trust.
Mm. Mm.
It makes sense.
That makes total sense. It's like, it reminds me a lot as you were talking, it sort of popped into my head. Like, if you think about a friend or any sort of relationship, the way to build trust is to do what you say you're going to do.
Yeah.
And so it's like, we all know there's people who talk a big game, but they don't follow through on anything. And so that causes a lack of trust. And so But the people who go out and do things and achieve stuff, but they're not talking up themselves, like those people we admire and we're like, wow, they're like such hustlers. And so I think, yeah, like it's this alignment between like you mentioned, doing basically what you say you're going to do or what you do rather than, oh yeah, like this is coming soon or oh, we're moving into the space. It's like, but where are you right now and what are you doing like right now?
Yes. So I think it's in marketing is very, very important. And that's how you build trust. And it's valid for every brand. It's not even like
It's not
it's valid
industry
for
specific.
every industry. It's not specific.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. No, I really like that. And so you focus with your agency, obviously you focus on, we mentioned before we jumped on the call, UX marketing. So for people who say, like, what is that? Can you just give
Yeah, yeah.
a quick rundown of what is UX marketing and what are the benefits about it?
Sure. So UX marketing is sort of something I developed from my background because I was a developer. I did a lot of product development. Then I was a designer. All my degrees are in design. And then I was a UX designer, just sort of mixing all this stuff. And when I went into marketing, I sort of forgot about UX at first. And then I was like, okay, it's great. We do marketing, but I think we forget something. And so I created 2 years ago this UX marketing idea. So I created it from scratch. I found the name. I was like, oh, the name is cool. I'm going to use it. So I started to create this UX marketing, and now I'm building it in a way that I cooperated it, and I'm trying to create really a methodology about it. And the way it works is basically when you have a product, you think about the user journey inside your product. I'm creating an account, and then the user is navigating the product. What is the journey inside of it? Well, UX marketing is the same, but for marketing. So before I create this account, so what is my journey to basically through brand awareness to discover the product, maybe read some, blog articles about it, things about it, see videos, and then decide to actually create the account. So marketing stopped. For me, marketing stopped as soon as you create the account. Then it's, or as soon as the contract, the proposal is signed, or as soon as even for B2B, I will say even as soon as the meeting is set up with sales, marketing is sort of done because now it's sales, now the client is in front of the salesperson. So marketing is not really involved. So what is the journey before this happens? And the journey is really, and I map that. So I create maps and workflows because I think it's very important to have a visual of this journey because it gets everywhere. And especially with all what we have today, we have social media, we have emails, we have blogs, we have websites. You may be on other directories, you may be on the press, you may be, it's everywhere. And I think if we don't map it, we sort of get lost into it. And what we have is this ping pong effect, meaning that someone get into the journey, go into your website, and then on the website, a lot of people do this mistake. Go back to my social media. It's just like, no,
Right.
you got you got the person on your website reading your blogs. Don't bring them back to something else, please.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I mean, unless there is a reason, I mean, I have, for example, you can, if you connect on my website, you will see that I have my Instagram like on my website, but I'm also not trying to get clients. It's not like, I don't do that on my client's website. I'm doing that on my website because my goals are different. So it depends your goal, but when you map this workflow, you will really understand, okay, what is my goal? Getting leads, this signing up, something. And how do I map this journey? And this journey needs to bring forward, not, backward. Of course, people are going to do ping pong during the journey, but it's very important to think forward. And at some point in your journey to capture something. And that's what we do in marketing. We capture an email, we capture a name, we capture something during the journey before the end of it. So it's sort of what it is. It's like, how do we bring the user experience into marketing? Very easy, right?
No, easy.
Easy.
So easy.
So easy, dear. Our job is so simple.
It's so easy to get clients. But no, I think
Anyway.
that's a really good point. And I think a lot of businesses or marketers kind of forget about that, or where it's like, what is the customer experiencing? What is the flow? Like, what are they seeing when they go to Google? And then what are they seeing when they go onto the website? And is there a clear flow of like navigation on the website, booking a call? Like, because you're right, like a lot of people will spend all this time getting traffic onto their website, but then they're not converting or capturing the leads or inquiries. And so it's really looking at that holistic process and going, okay, like what are they looking at? What is it like for them to perceive this whole journey? Like what are the colors? What are the fonts? Like what are they thinking, you know? And so I think that's really important to look at because often we're like, oh, let's just do this and hope that the customer will like it and interact with it. But a lot of the times, like it doesn't, there's disconnect or different things. So I think it's really cool to shift the focus onto like, what is the user experiencing? What is the customer looking at from their end? Yeah.
Yeah, and that's funny you talk about branding, like font colors and things, because that's really part of what I do. Uh, it's like I make sure that at every point the color are the same, the font is the same, and there is a consistent. So when I see basically what I want is when I see a social media post on my Facebook feed of this company, I know it is this company. I don't have to read, I don't have to look up. I know because of the colors, the graphic design. I have a very good graphic designer. I'm a graphic designer myself, so it's really important for me to have this coherence in the design. So we know. So when I got a client, actually, when I got Must Wants, the issue we had when I started working with them a year and a half ago, everything was out of place. We had some different colors because that was different people working on it.
Right.
So, and there was no coherence. So there was branding sort of, but it was not like applied enough. And now, because the team is really big, so when the team is really big and there are so many people in so many places working on it, you can lose this coherence. And what we work on with Scott and the people who are doing the design, and we try to do meeting together to gather and to really like, okay, what is the branding? So we make sure at every step of the user experience, the branding is the same. And it has helped a lot for getting people in because they were lost. And when you get feedback from these companies where everything is so different, people don't understand. They were like, is it the same company? Is it two different persons? It's just if you see people confused, most of the time it's a lack of user experience.
That's really cool. And I think, again, something that probably, obviously, as you've experienced, a lot of businesses kind of maybe don't pay as much attention to because I guess they're just, obviously juggling so many different things. And so it's like realizing, oh, yeah, like the colors are really important and to have that consistency across socials, across Google Maps, across their website, their emails, like all of it, like you said. So it's this quick identification, which is really cool. So in terms of like brands shifting into more of that user experience, like what would you recommend they focus on to help them with growing like their revenues?
Sure. So when I get a new client, basically what I do first is to review the flow, to map what they already have, because every single person has already something, even if it's just a website. It is a website. There's a flow inside the website. So I think it's very important because before spending a lot of money on changing everything, you have to go back to what you have, sort of map all the elements. So just do a list of every single element you already do and how much people are involved into it. For example, I have an Instagram account. This is the number of followers. I have a Facebook account. This is the number of followers. I have an email list. This is the number of people subscribe for my email list. I have a website. This is the number of people visiting my website. Putting some data and things, like just listing them,
Like a mention.
and then seeing what works, what doesn't. Because the mistake of companies, and that's when they lose money, is really like, I want to be on TikTok. I have so many clients once. The people love TikTok. I don't know. It's a person who loves TikTok. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't feel
You need
need to be. But people are like, my clients are always like, I want to be on TikTok. I was like, okay, is there a reason? Like, are you gonna make money out of TikTok? And the answer is always no. So you map everything. Once you have mapped everything, you see the channel that works, the one that doesn't. So doesn't, you just throw them away for now. You can just pause them, and then you focus on what works, where you already have like a sort of people interesting. Because I think for a company, when you want to make money right now, and every time when someone comes to me and I was like, I want to close a lead tomorrow, I was like, then all your current clients and ask for referrals. It's like, it's just, if you want to close a lead fast, you need someone who already knows you or knows someone who knows you. It's like getting leads take time and closing leads takes time. There is like there are months between the time someone discover your brand and actually decide to work with you. There are months. You cannot shorten that. Sometimes people are very quick because they have a really strong need. But even with a strong need, they're gonna. It's sometimes someone contact me. I want marketing. I want marketing. I was like, you feel the lead is really ready, but then they just leave you away, and then they come back 3 months later. I was like, oh, now I'm ready. So nobody is really ready right away, and you need this time. And during this time, these people will interact with you. They will be on your Facebook. They will be on your mailing list. They will be on your LinkedIn. B2B is through LinkedIn for me. So before trying to bring new people and putting a Google ads, try to bring back to the one you have. Try to, if you want money like fast, try to build refocus on these people who are actually sort of warm leads and try to make them aware of what you do now, because they're certainly not being updated of what you were doing this past year or so. So try to update them, trying to see, okay, we have these new things now. We are doing this new product, we are doing these new services. And then if you do that, usually you have people contacting you right away, meaning that they were sort of in a waiting moment. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, this person, and sometimes they feel you reappear, because when you don't do marketing for a long time, especially companies that go like silent for months, then reappear all of a sudden. Usually it works because people are like, oh, you're alive, you still exist. And now we need you. So I will say every company wants to make money right away before trying to bring new people, which is new people will arrive anyway. When you do that, focus on the ones that are sort of warm and in the middle, and see what can you bring to them. What quality can you bring to them? What information can you bring to them? How can you bring storytelling? Can you make them just reach the last step and sign with you? And I think that's where companies should focus, like before getting new people. It's like you focus on your current, we were talking about friendships and relationships, you focus on your current friends before trying to make new friends.
Right.
Sometimes I see people trying to make new relationships all the time, and I'm just like, this is insane. This is an insane use of energy, because you try to make new friends, and like, and then what? And then you forget about your current friends. Like, focus on your cycle, build the bond, bring the relationship you already have. And then yes, you will make new friends. You will, but maybe you should focus on the one you already have before actually getting out of it. And that's sort of what company do. It's like partnerships, just sending emails sometimes to your current clients. It's good too. It's like, or to past clients, the one you worked with a year ago, saying, hey, what's going on. Is like, even if it's not them who are going to work with you again, that can be someone they know. So keeping good relationship with all of this, it's also marketing. I consider that marketing. It's a little bit of sales, but a little bit of marketing, because salespeople don't have the time. So as a marketer, you ended up doing this work because, salespeople don't have the time to. Salespeople is more one-on-one, one-on-one relationship. I'm talking more about doing an emails, for example, for all the past clients. Something bigger. Because marketers, I think as a marketer, my limit is always like, I'm not doing one-on-one.
Right.
But sending an emails to all the past clients, for example, can be a good way to just warm this lead again and get money, because maybe one of them will just sign right away. And that's usually the people who are still afraid to sign again. It's like when I feel a need of clients, I reach out always to my current network, and then I go further, but the further ones are clients for in 6 months, not clients for tomorrow. So
no, I think
it
that's
makes sense.
super important. And something a lot of people don't think about is, like asking your current clients, even like trying to sell them like additional services, or being like, have you thought about this? Or even I had an instance like a month ago where I just sent out a request to my past clients for some reviews. And then one of them was like, oh, I need some more work. Are you free? So it's even like, you might just ask someone, for a past client or a current client, for a review. And then they may come back and be like, oh, I need some help. I've just fallen behind. It's been really busy. And so, I think that that's really important about, connecting with your current clients, keeping them in the loop too. Like, especially because I work with a lot of accounting and financial services firms. And so a lot of them don't create much content. They don't email their list. Like, they're very like anti-marketing. And so, but But by like, I look at the ones that do, like the clients I help, where we send even a monthly email, and it's just, it goes so far just to keep the brand top of mind and keep their name in the inbox. And, I think that, yeah, businesses underestimate. They're like, oh, like, let's go get cold traffic. And it's like you mentioned, it's so much harder to convert cold traffic than warm traffic, or people who are already in your network or friends of friends. And so, yeah, I think that that's a really cool untapped resource.
So yeah, that would be my advice. Okay.
Yeah. Nice. And so, how do like what do you see with AI? Like you mentioned you're using AI. How do you see AI fitting in as a tool to say user experience marketing or UX marketing?
UX marketing, yeah. So that's my focus right now is how do I fit AI in a way that is still human,
Yeah.
and that still brings the user experience to solve this problem, which is a big problem because the problem with AI is everywhere. You can open ChatGPT, it's free, or you pay $20 and you have everything unlimited, so it's almost free.
Hmm.
And then you can create blog articles, you can create a lot of things, you can create your own GPTs, so it gets further, and then you make sure you have some consistency, but it has a limit, I think, if you do only this kind of stuff. So what I started to build for my own company is more workflows. So I use N8N, N8N, which is a really good tool. I don't know if you already use it, but you can
Hmm.
create really workflows. It's more powerful than Zapier, and make.com. I think it's really like you have Zapier, which is sort of, I will say, if you're not a dev, you never read a line of code, go to Zapier, okay? If you're a little better and you know a little bit how to code, but you're not like really high level, go to make.com. And then if you a developer and you know what is an API, go to N8N. That's sort of how I see the development because N8N it's much more complicated. But it's much more powerful. That's the thing, that's the thing. So right now I'm using N8N, so I've built my own workflows, which create very a consistent result, which is great because N8N go very like further. You can have very detailed instructions. You can also connect the tools together. So for example, I use Tabili to go to my research. I use Perplexity to do the research, and then ChatGPT is getting the Perplexity answer and mixing everything together. So by doing these kind of things, when you mix the AI together, that's avoid mistakes. So that's what N8N is really for. Now it's just an API, it's just a webhook. So how do I bring that in a way that it's visually like easy to use? So I'm creating my own software for that, where basically what I have done is it's really complicated, but it's like you choose a focus of the months, and then when you have your focus on the months, you create your ideas. Then you can generate the post from the ideas, and then when you have your post, you can basically check them and you export them and you schedule them.
Right.
So it's not. I mean, it's not rocket science, but I'm building a system that sort of you have the human, because the human is creating, the focus of the mouse. The human is checking the ideas and then generating the post and then checking the post. So you have a lot of human in the loop.
Yeah.
But
Like
then there
touch
is an
points.
AI. It's a lot of touch point. I will say that. But then there is an AI who do the groundwork. For example, you're not going to write all the posts,
Right.
uh, because I mean, especially for some clients, right now it's actually July 1st. So I have to do all my social media, which is it's exciting and stressful too, because I just got the data from June and now we have a full month to plan. And to do that, I'm going to use AI, of course. But for some clients, I have 30 posts to do.
Right.
I don't want to do 30 posts of wind. I want to do 30 good posts because we need interaction, we need engagement. Some of these posts are dedicated to people because that's really what I like in my social media, dedicate some posts to people. So that means I'm getting the bios. People send me their bio, but it's just a bio. How do I bring that? So AI is helping me basically to take all this information and data together, and generate the posts for me. So by using N8N and my own, it's available. It's VDS AI tool. I really like bringing everything together. That's how I use AI right now. Also creating blog posts. But again, I was using tool online to create blog posts, and I was just like, they're not marketers.
Right.
So
You can
so, so
tell.
I did my own thing because I was just like, I don't like the result. So I created my own like post generator. And again, each time I'm doing all these tools, I think the most important to remember is don't trust one AI. Sort of bring AIs together, and when they are talking to each other, they will correct each other. like a group of person, with different personalities talking,
Yeah.
collaborating. Exactly.
A little
So yeah,
team.
it's like a team of AI, a team
Yeah.
of various AI collaborating on a subject, and so they can correct each other, and then the result will be much better. But it's it's getting, I mean, we are getting it in a level that it's not just, I open ChatGPT and I ask for an article. It's getting the highest level, but that's also why you hire a company to do it.
Exactly.
Because some of my clients always tell me, oh, you can go in ChatGPT and do it. I was like, if I was doing that, you it's like my job is not to open ChatGPT in the morning and ask everything in ChatGPT. My job is to have like very tools that I developed and built for months that are doing
And
that much
tested.
more tested, and
Yeah.
who are which are doing very like high level work. So that's sort of what I'm developing right now. That's
Hmm.
going to be my focus all summer. I really want to get this AI working properly because I think that's the only way for me to grow and have more clients. So I sort of slow down. I develop my tools. I become a developer again, and then I will be more of a marketer in the fall. So,
Mm.
so
That's cool. No, I like it because I know each kind of AI tool has their obviously strengths and weaknesses. So having them kind of talk to each other through an automation is a really cool idea. And it's cool because you've got both the marketing and the developer background. So it sounds like it works quite well.
yeah, I'm lucky. I have so many
You
hats.
can write code.
Okay. I can write code, I can read the code, and I can create my software, and I can also write my API, and I can build my AI myself. So it's really sort of bringing everything together. I know when I do that, I'm less of a marketer because I'm doing more like a developer work, but I also bring the experience I have with marketing. So it's it's sort of what I'm switching. Maybe in the fall I will be a full-time developer and I won't be a marketer anymore. And just we'll see. I like to evolve with the time. I got really into this. I got really into UX marketing. So right now I'm sort of developing methodology and talking more about the methodology itself, for other people to apply it. Because that's the goal. Is like if I'm doing so many podcasts about UX marketing, is because I want people to do marketing in a way that is human,
Yes.
that think about the users. And I don't want I when I see a post on LinkedIn like, oh yeah, I can do everything for you, it's like let it pause for you. I'm just like, oh, please no.
Hmm.
It's like it's that's why I think this podcast are important, and
Yeah.
discussing about it is important because when you talk to people, people are like, I don't want full AI. But then when you see people like, oh, do full AI and you will be good, and you're just like, maybe not.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe not.
It's sort of
So
there's got to be a balance, I think, between it, like you mentioned, having like a human check, and having that human kind of overseeing it, but not having a human have to do every part of the puzzle. And so I
yeah.
think that's the power of the automations, like you mentioned, is setting up these processes to do kind of the grunt work to pull everything together and collate it. And, you tell it kind of or program it what to do and when and how, and then it does the thing, and then you come and check it and fine tune it and all of that. I think that's a really cool process.
That's sort of what I'm building. It's like the human is doing the cool stuff and the AI is doing the boring stuff.
Exactly. So outsource all of the boring stuff to AI.
And then we are doing the fun creative part is what I like.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is what humans are good at, is like the creativity and the experimentation. I think like that's probably one of the dangers of AI is getting locked into like, oh, like just asking AI for everything. But I think the value that humans can bring is coming at it from a human angle, coming at it with curiosity and wonder. And, well, what if we approach it this way? Or what if I'm wrong and there's a better way to do it? And really, coming with that creativity and that curiosity to make the product better. And then, automating or using AI for like the process grunt work. So, yeah.
That's exactly what I'm dreaming of. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not yet possible, but I mean, I'm very close to that. I'm very close to it. So I think it's in the fall I will be fully ready. But that's exactly what I want to bring. Is like keep the creativity, the fun part. I think humans are so important. And they are still in the middle of the company. At the end of the day, company it's made of people first.
Right.
And then there are services and products and stuff like this. But people first. So I think the marketing should really bring that. I love talking about the people inside. I love talking for my clients about who is doing the thing, who is part of the company. And that's also where I see the most engagement.
Mm-hmm.
on social media. Because when you talk about services, people are like, okay, yes, that solved my problem. But then when you talk about people and you put face, like a face on what on the real thing, people are much more like engaging about it. So that's sort of how my social media like raised up these past months, is because I sort of shift all my focus less on the services themselves, but more about the people. Um,
Mm.
without the lack of leads, it's like is people are afraid when you do that that you're gonna lost leads, but I don't think you lost leads. It's like you just shift a little bit the focus, but people are more interested actually by your services because they see someone and they relate to the person, and then they can just like look at the services as secondary. It's like, okay, I like the person, now they saved my problem, okay, I'm going for it. But
Mm.
if you see only I solved these problems, it will be okay, but this other company also solved my problem, so why would I go for you?
Exactly.
So so having the people, I think it's really important.
It's like, people do want to do business with other people, not with a robot, not with a service type. Like if, like you said, if
Exactly.
it's so generic and standard that anybody can do it, what's the differentiating factor? So I think businesses need to realize, yeah, like there needs to be that human focus, that human front on their marketing so that people feel like they're doing business and they like you, and the more that you're yourself, then the more people will resonate with that. And then you'll bring in people who are similar, rather than shitty clients. Nobody wants
Those That's also the goal, is like showing your
yeah.
personality off, just make people being like, no, I don't want to work with them. Cool, cool. I don't want to work with you either. We're
Yeah.
good. It's like that. I
Yeah.
think it's very important to show your personality a little bit, because and, and it certainly depends. Some companies are really like getting much, users possible. And I see that if the companies are getting like users and everything is sort of anonymous, yeah, you don't really maybe need that. But as soon as you do B2B, and you talk with business owners and stuff like this, you have to be yourself as a person. It's very important.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And so, yeah, we've basically come up on time, but if people want to find out more, I feel like we could just keep chatting, but
Yeah, I
um,
know. I think we could do that 2 hours.
yeah, yeah, maybe we can do a part two sometime. But for people who want to know more about you and what you do and connect, where can they find you online?
Sure. So they can go to vdsdigitalagency.com. I'm on LinkedIn a lot. My Monday name is Virginie Delaitre. I think you will put that
Put it
probably
in
in
the
the
show notes.
descriptions.
Yeah.
And people know me at Ginny. So that's LinkedIn. I think it's the best, and my website. And I do a lot of blogs. I have a newsletter so people can follow what I do. And yeah, I'm a lot on social media, especially LinkedIn. So
Hmm. That's cool. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on the podcast today, and thank you everyone for listening.